thanks for staying with us. Customs management deserves task force all over the country. For some customs report, the CG speaks on seizure made by two commands in the Western Zone. Plus, more report. I am Igiseme Itinye. Stay tuned. The Controller General of Nigerian Customs Service was welcomed to Federal Operation Unit Zone A by the acting controller in charge of the zone with regards of honor. The Controller General of Nigerian Customs Service has approved the dissolution of the CGC's crisis force, citing a new strategic direction for the organization. The CGC directs all officers under the team to immediately return to their respective area of command or unit. The dissolution of the strike force makes a shift in the operational structure of the customs agency. Under the new directive, the strike force team's coordinators in each zone have been entrusted with crucial responsibility to ensure a smooth and organized handover process. They are urged to properly hand over all ammunition and guns to their respective areas of command, units in the headquarters.
Some of the areas is what we have just done now. I talked about our strategy for enforcement. We've been doing this enforcement, we've been using this strategy that gave us very limited results. It is our belief that we have not reaped maximum potentials that we can get from enforcement. So when we integrate the use of technology into our enforcement strategies, we will get better results. We will make better use of intelligence. And of course, the operation of our checkpoints have not given us the kind of result that we desire. Rather, it has created some kind of reputation damage for us. So we are already reviewing the way we have our checkpoints. We are reviewing the architecture of our security patrols. We are going to replace it with a new structure. And part of what we are doing is that we are going to strengthen federal operations units across the country.
The Nigerian Customs Service has seized arms disguised in bags of charcoal at Lagos Port. The Controller General of Customs, who was in Lagos with some of his top management staff, says the Customs will continue to fight against contraband into the country.
To enhance national security and do our best to put those involved in bad business out of business. Since assuming the role of Acting Controller General, ladies and gentlemen, our dedicated officers and men have demonstrated unwavering commitment to their responsibilities. Their diligence and perseverance have been the cornerstone of our operations. Our actions within the customs have been driven by a deep sense of purpose and guided by the mantra of renewed hope, which underpins the current administration's vision. We recognize the significance of our role in contributing to the overall objectives of President Tinubu-led administration as articulated in the roadmap of the Policy Advisory Council documents. The declaration of a state of emergency in revenue generation and national security has further aligned our activities with the government's overarching goals. Pursuant to this commitment, I stand before you this afternoon to highlight the recent result of anti-smuggling activities of our officers in our ongoing efforts to suppress smuggling and safeguard national security. Our dedicated and diligent officers have uncovered some smuggled arms and ammunition while on duty at various commands and formations. On the 5th of July 2023, during a joint operation with the police, DSS, NDLEA, CIU, at the PTML command, a thorough physical examination of a 40-footer container was conducted. The examination revealed the concealment of 10 dangerous arms and various rounds of live ammunition inside plastic drums. We will be able to see those ones specifically. They are all located in that place. And I quickly give the details, which include 6 new pump-action rifles, 1 new unit of an armed rifle, and 6 different makes of pistols. They include a Millennium G2 pistol, 1 SARS 9X pistol, 1 Logger Security 9 pistol, a Thoros Banbridge G3C pistol, a CPX-2 pistol, and a Thoros 63 pistol. Others include 14 empty magazines and 442 rounds of live ammunition. The clearing agents, one Mr. Shokunbi Olanrewaju of Shola Global International Limited, and Mr. Joseph Nwadiodo, who was expected to take delivery of the container, are currently detained as suspects in connection with the seizure. Similarly, about the same period at the Tinkan Highland Port Command, while our officers were acting on credible intelligence, a 40-footer container was also subjected to similar examination with the relevant security agencies in the port. The examination uncovered 18 arms, packets of cartridges, and rounds of live ammunition, also inside plastic drums. The details include 6 different makes of pistol, 2 SARS pistols, 1 Ruger American pistol, and 3 Thoros G3C Brownsbridge pistols. And there were 12 different makes of rifles, including 5 RZ L7HD rifles, 1 Gamma rifle, 5 pump-action rifles, and 1 RZ-17 tactical rifles. Others in the drum are 10 packets of cartridges, 2 packets of 9mm ammunition, 100 rounds of 9mm ammunition, 1 carton of Frontier cartridges, and 2 packets of buckshot ammunition. Again, during a routine patrol along Ogode Agility axis of Ogun State by officers of the Joint Border Patrol Team Sector 2 on Wednesday, they intercepted an unregistered Toyota Camry loaded with 6 sacks of charcoal, which was used to conceal 3 pump-action rifles with 174 cartridges. The driver of the vehicle, who knew the content he was conveying, vis-a-vis the attendant consequences of his action before the law, jumped into the bush and escaped arrest. In summary, a total of 31 rifles were intercepted within the first 2 weeks of July 2023. Investigations into the seizures are still inconclusive. The outcome of our investigation, together with the seizures, will be handed over to the appropriate authorities for further investigations and prosecution. However, we can draw some inference at this stage because of some of the features, very close features of the 2 seizures in Tinkan and PTML. In the meantime, we will be telling you those who are arrested in connection with this incident. Despite the inconclusive nature of the investigation, I would like to commend all the officers who are responsible for this landmark seizures. I want to commend them through their controllers who are there with this, for this briefing. Controller Oloyede of Tinkan Island and Controller Yusuf of PTML. I have directed the ACG headquarters to immediately issue letter of commendation to all the officers so that we will motivate them to do better. The services, human resources, and logistics are collectively harnessed to combat and prevent economic sabotage. I implore importers and agents to be patriotic by making sincere declarations and be properly guided by the import and export prohibition list. I also urge the public to see security as a collective responsibility. We will appreciate information of illegal importation and cross-border movement of dangerous weapons used to create mayhem in our nation.
He took time to answer questions from journalists at the Federal Operation Unit, Zone A in Lagos.
So we look into that regard. I think this subject was addressed today, and we said it will be good for us to comment, but then what we are saying is that seizures have to be spectacular. This is spectacular enough. We will assess and we will do all we can to motivate the officers. In terms of the offenders, yes, you can go to your house and have a good sleep after. But those arrested in a situation like this do not know peace. So the seizure that we made in 2016, judgment was delivered just about a couple of weeks ago, and they were jailed. The second seizure is still in the process. Processes could be very long, but that's the nature of justice. There's nothing we can do about it. So we are very sure that we are going to be meticulous and diligent in the way we prosecute this. Thank you. Of the new Customs Act, in terms of the administration of justice and giving sanctions. The sanctions that we have in the previous law were more or less a slap on the wrist. They are not punitive enough, and they do not serve any kind of deterrence. But in the new law, they are. And you know, when we talk about fines ranging from 10 million for simple infractions, those that we had under Section 46 and 47 before, illegal importation, that we impose fines of 500 naira or 1,000 naira. This time, the lowest of those fines is 5 million naira. And we believe that these are heavy, and they will be subjected to periodic review if we feel that the imposition of those fines are not deterrent as we plan them. So it's going to be subjected to periodic review, and they might be amended further.
You are watching the program Customs Report. The Nigerian Customs Service has continued to wage war against impersonation of its commands and officers all over the country. Recently, the Customs paraded one person who claimed to be a custom officer, while the spokesman of the Customs has this to say. He was arrested by custom detectives in the service.
Mr. Cletus petitioned the Comptroller General of Customs on 7th of March 2022 with allegation that one Inyawebo, a purported inspector of customs, defrauded him of 1,069,000 naira on the ground that he will help him purchase a Toyota Sienna for him through the auction of seized vehicles from the Nigeria Customs Service. Preliminary investigation shows that Inyawebo had sometimes in 2022 assumed the character of an officer of the Nigeria Customs Service and obtained 2 million naira from one Mr. Clement Jacob, 1 million naira from one Mr. Chima Cletus. The suspect also equally obtained the sum of 1,200,000 from one Aminu Shuaibu. Also in the same year, that is 2022, he also collected the sum of 1 million naira from one Emmanuel Ako. He didn't relent in this nefarious activities. He also collected the sum of 1,400,000 from one Haruna Mustafa, and finally he fraudulently obtained the sum of 750,000 from one Mr. Musa Ishaku Sakanto, all for the purpose of purchasing vehicle through purported auction of seized vehicles by the Nigeria Customs Service.
A former customs PRO and now a retired controller of customs has commended the president for making a custom officer the Controller General of Nigerian Customs Service. The Royal Highness in Katsina State, UK Bello, says the Nigerian Customs Service, with the appointment of Wale Adeniyi as the CJ of Customs, the customs will continue to generate more revenue for the country and fight against smuggling all over the country. He commended the management for a job well done. The newly appointed Controller General of Nigerian Customs Service has been speaking with area controllers and stakeholders in Abuja. He urged them to continue to improve our revenue generation and fight smuggling activities in the country. He speaks more on other issues.
Today we are gathered here to mark the beginning of a new era in Nigeria Customs Service. I'm here before you as the newly appointed Controller General of Customs in acting capacity, humbled and honored by the trust placed in me by our esteemed President, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. This call to duty signifies a great responsibility. A responsibility to serve our nation as trade facilitators and enforcers of government policy. It is a delicate balancing act that demands professionalism, integrity, and highest ethical standards. Over the past 8 years, the Nigeria Customs Service has embarked on a journey of transformation focused on reforms, restructuring, and revenue generation. We have witnessed critical adjustments to meet the evolving needs and strategic objectives of our service. As beneficiaries and ambassadors of these reforms, many of us have played pivotal roles in training, retraining, and mentoring the future generation of customs officers. Today, we stand at the precipice of an exciting future, one that builds upon the achievements of the past and takes us even further. This administration is committed to adopting a bottom-up approach where the needs of their nation takes precedence over every other thing. We will prioritize efficiency in service delivery as the bedrock of trade facilitation and revenue generation. No longer shall encumbrances impede trade. We shall dismantle obstacles and foster a new culture of consultations and compliance. In order to achieve our objectives, it is imperative that we bridge the current human resource gap within our ranks. We recognize the importance of capacity building and career advancement for our officers. We will work diligently to implement career advancement opportunities approved by the Board of the Nigeria Customs Service by ensuring that competence remains the sole criterion for assigning responsibilities and measuring effectiveness. Our focus is on cultivating a highly skilled workforce that is equipped to face the challenges of a rapidly changing world. Staff welfare is of paramount importance to us. We acknowledge the harsh and hostile environment in which our officers and men are compelled to function. Therefore, we commit ourselves to prioritizing the welfare and well-being of our personnel by providing better remunerations, improved accommodation, life insurance, and quality health care. We aim to create an environment that supports and motivates our workforce. We understand that a well-motivated team is instrumental in achieving our aims and objectives. As we embark on this new journey, we recognize the need for collaboration and partnerships. We value the relationships we have built with our partner government agencies and, of course, the private sector. These collaborations have been vital to our adoption of technology as a tool to enhance revenue generation and streamline our processes. We will strengthen those partnerships and we will engage stakeholders through revitalized platforms. By promoting dialogue, we can resolve disputes and advance mutually beneficial solutions that lead to more efficiency and effectiveness of the service. We will continue to treat its esteemed stakeholders as partners who have genuine stakes in our success. Furthermore, we will be firmly committed to fairness. We will treat all stakeholders, all traders, and officers alike with impartiality and respect. Our decisions and actions will be guided by principles of transparency and discipline. We understand that our conduct shapes the public's perception of the service. We will therefore strive to uphold the highest standards of professionalism and ethical behavior. Indiscipline will not be tolerated as we prioritize fairness and equity. My predecessor had taken significant steps towards customs modernization. It is our duty to build on those gains. Staff welfare and capacity building have been revolutionized under the previous administration with the provision of decent packages and introduction of staff courses. We will therefore build upon these gains to ensure continuous growth and development of our workforce. All these efforts will be channeled towards ensuring that the real potentials of the service are achieved.
Just before the end of this week's edition of the program Customs Report, we brought you a report where 31 guns were seized in bags loaded with charcoal in Lagos Port, and the seizures was presented by the Controller General of Nigerian Customs Service. For me, Igeseme Engineer, thanks for watching.